What's up, guys? Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk Wrestling here on the JEFF MEACHAM Network and across our many YouTube affiliates. I appreciate everybody allowing me to pop on in today and do the dang thing with you guys as I do every Monday. If you happen to join us a few minutes ago for the NWO presentation, I do appreciate that very much. And if you didn't, try again next week. It's going to be on the Twitter there over at NWO 25th. So you can catch it there. Anyway, as I stated in the description for the video, if you're watching on YouTube, and it looks like most of you, well, you had to watch it. I did mention the description. I would greatly appreciate the super chats. I know I'm not supposed to be, being a shill or whatever, but I need the money, y'all. So what I will do is I will do what I was going to do in the first hour, which is cover everything that's gone on in the last 7 days, and all the shit's going on today. I woke up to not woke up, but came across my social media to some very crazy news in the world of wrestling. So we will get to that for sure. You know what? Let's just go ahead and cover it right now. According to, I want to get the article right here. I don't want to be, talking out of my ass because Lord knows I'm guilty of that. But I did get a text from Jefe this morning. Let's see here. Let's see what it says here. WWE announced the following today. This was actually just a little over an hour ago. I know that's Eastern, so that's a few hours ago now. Drew McIntyre has tested positive for COVID-19 and has been placed in quarantine. With the announcement of the WWE Champion testing positive for COVID-19, we can confirm Drew McIntyre will make his first comments tonight on Raw. He was supposed to face Randy Orton tonight on Monday Night Raw. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So, and he's also supposed to face my buddy and yours, Goldberg, at the Royal Rumble for the championship. So obviously we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we are now, as it sits here, less than 20 days from the start of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view on the WWE Network. So is Drew going to be out? I mean, the quarantine, I believe the quarantine time now, the mandatory quarantine time now is still 2 weeks. So will he be ready in time? Because we've got, less than 3 weeks until we're supposed to have a pay-per-view with the WWE Championship defended in a marquee match against a Hall of Famer. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Apparently, Triple H is going to be on Raw tonight. That was announced a little while ago. See if I can find out here. What we got here. Coming out the news that Drew McIntyre tested positive, WWE announced that Triple H will be in the opening segment of tonight's Raw. There is a backstage rumor, for what it's worth, that Hunter will be wrestling on the show tonight. And it'll be his first match in the ring since he teamed up with Shinsuke Nakamura to defeat Robert Roode and Samoa Joe back in June of 2019. The thing is, Raw is up against Alabama and Ohio State tonight. And if you're a college football fan, like I quasi am, and like a lot of the guys that I host shows with are, it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out, because they have to they're going up against a huge game, because Ohio State has been one of the best teams in recent years, and of course Alabama's always in that championship picture. It's going to be a hell of a thing to try to compete against ratings wise, and we know how Vince is about the ratings, so it's going to be interesting to see what goes down here tonight, a little under 2 hours, I should say, when Raw kicks off, of course, at 8 p.m. Eastern. So there's that news right off the bat. I did want to briefly mention the article that was posted about Sean Morley, the man formerly known as Val Venus, and his seemingly going off the deep end, according to some, with the tweets directed toward Dwayne Johnson, toward Arnold Schwarzenegger, toward everybody that has been speaking out against the current president. And I did say in the description I was going to talk about what happened on Wednesday in the Capitol and across the country. Again, I said it on I forget what stream I was. I think it was one of my live streams. I just kind of popped in out of nowhere and did. It may have been Thursdays because I look like shit. I don't remember. This is getting really, really out of hand, and I'm gonna take the talk wrestling thing down here for a second. It's not really wrestling I'm talking about here. This is just some. I will put my network because I am. It's still so I'll go ahead and leave that there. But yeah, it's very, very scary how it's getting out there. I was mentioning to my sister, I have not watched the news, actively watched the news this much since the tragedies of September 11th, 20 years ago. Just seeing what happened and seeing this completely brazen and outright disrespect for our nation's main hub of government. I can't think of the words. It was very, very disturbing to see, and it was very even more disturbing to see people on either side of the fence, whether they were hardcore in support of these people attacking the Capitol, or they were so far removed from it in their head that they didn't give a shit. It's very, very sad that it takes something like this for us to go, this isn't right. So I'll just say that. And as far as Sean Morley, I liken Sean Morley's current attitude toward the heads of state to Damien Demento's attitude toward Rob Van Dam and myself and a few others all those years ago when he was just rambling and ranting and raving. Sean looks like he needs to get a little help, so I will do that. I do see your question, Psycho Jet Black, but as I did state, I will address questions. Ask me anything in the second hour. Number one, number two, guys. Even $1. There we go. Thank you. See, Brendan's on the ball. I appreciate that, Brendan. Thank you very much. $3 super chat. Just wanted to say thank you for what you do, Brendan. Thank you for thanking me. I really appreciate that. It's awesome. I enjoy doing what I do. I just, this is my livelihood. So I gotta be an asshole and be a shill. Not much I can do about it, unfortunately. So, all right. So, with that being said, let me do exactly what I was going to do, and go to my notes and bring up the results for everything that we did. All right. So, after Talk Wrestling Monday and after Monday Night Raw last Monday night, I stayed my crazy ass up because, like I just said, I'm crazy. And I watched Wrestle Kingdom for the first time in a long time. Well, New Japan. Wrestle Kingdom. I did watch night one of night. I watched both nights of Wrestle Kingdom last year, but I didn't watch the whole thing last year. I did watch it this year. I did go back and watch night 2 and New Year's Dash. Man, I was just so tired Tuesday and Wednesday that I knew I wasn't going to get through it live. And I do apologize to the Team New Japan Pro Wrestling group that I was welcomed into with open arms, that I didn't stick with it, guys. But I was just so damn tired. So here's how it went down over in the Land of the Rising Sun. Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fail, Bushi, I guess, and Toru Yano advanced to the KOPW 2021 match, which is King of Pro Wrestling. If you guys don't know, follow Japan. Yano went in as the defending champion, even though it's not really a title you defend, I guess. I honestly don't know how it all works. You have to talk to Noah and Cindy and Mark and everybody else that's on that team, because I'm still, like I said, still dip my toes in that proverbial water. So there you go. But cool concept, kind of a Royal Rumble type match. I enjoyed it. Yano didn't even get in the ring, and he was one of the final four because everybody else limited himself. I thought it was a pretty funny thing. And then he went on to win the thing the next night. So take that for what it's worth. For night two's junior heavyweight challenger, the best of the Super Juniors, Hiromu Takahashi, who, reminds me of Chris Jericho. He has no reason to be in that good a shape at this point in his career, and damn it, if he looked great, and he defeated El Fantasma, who won the Super J Cup earlier last year. So there you go. I'm sorry, no, I'm thinking Tanahashi, not Takahashi. I'm sorry, wrong guy. God, so many. I apologize for the name confusion, you guys. I apologize. The Girls of Destiny are once again the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. They defeated the Dangerous Tekkers, Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. Kenta, who was, of course, in WWE as Hideo Itami for you American fans, like me, defeated a guy who I'm kind of familiar with, Satoshi Kojima, with Hiroyoshi Tenzan. Kenta currently holds the championship challenge certificate in the briefcase to be the next guy to challenge Jon Moxley. Moxley hasn't been over there because of COVID and because of travel arrangements being what they are. So it's basically been like Kenta's been the interim United States Heavyweight Champion, and he's defended it every single show, and he's doing wonderfully with it. So we did get a promo from Jon, though. So he says he'll be there to defend against Kenta soon. So, and as I said, Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated the Great Okan. That was the match I was talking about where the guy, Tanahashi's been around, it feels like forever, and he still looks great. I'm sorry, Okada, I can't say your first name. I still can't say it. I apologize. Kazuchika Okada defeated Will Ospreay. Dude, Ospreay looks better every time I see this guy. He's just amazing. He and Okada went 35 and almost 36 minutes. They beat the shit out of each other. I was just at the match. Just crazy. So good. Such great wrestling. Such great action at Wrestle Kingdom. And Kota Ibushi defeated Tetsuya Naito to become the double champion, the heavyweight and Intercontinental champion. So Kota Ibushi has finally hit his thing. He's reached his destiny at last. People talking about Kota Ibushi for years. A lot of people were saying it was going to be Kota versus Naito versus Kota's neck, because Ibushi he can't seem to frickin' stay off his damn neck. Crazy bastard. All right. So the next night, there were two dark matches, both of which were the women's matches, which, again, that's the from Stardom. They don't seem to show those on pay-per-view, which I think is a shame. But those names are so crazy, I'm not even going to try. Yeah. As I said, Yano won the KOPW 2021 trophy, so he's still the king of pro wrestling. Suzuki Gun, El Desperado, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru defeated 1 or 8. And let's see here, 1 or 8, who was Taniguchi and Wato, to become to retain, I should say, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Shingo Takagi, who I saw Shingo, forever ago at Battle of Los Angeles for PWG. He's still awesome. He defeated Jeff Cobb to retain the Never Openweight Championship. Sonata defeated Evil. Again, Takahashi was wrestling. He defeated Ishimori to win the Junior Heavyweight Championship, so the new champion there. And after a great, unbelievable, intense promo by Jay White on night 1, he went in and challenged Kota Ibushi for the double championships on night 2. And after 48 minutes, Ibushi retained the titles. Golly, just unbelievable. again, like I watched it. I needed the notes so I could see the names because God, the names are just bananas. Just a great 2-night event, as it always is with the Wrestle Kingdom shows, the shows at the Tokyo Dome. I just, a lot of people will say that there's not enough character stuff. There's not a lot of what do you call it? Not enough. Oh, there was all. You know what? I don't have the notes for 2021 New Dash. Shit. I'm sorry. Well, I don't have those, so I just don't have it. Okay. Well, let me see what was next on my agenda. Oh yes. Aaron covered NXT and AEW, so I'm not going to get into that too much. I don't want to take away from his job. So I'll go ahead and talk about Genesis real quick, which was Saturday. And again, with Impact Wrestling, you just, these guys, they're chugging along. Impact Wrestling, they're still doing their thing. They're still staying strong and having great matches on their shows too. People don't see it because they don't watch. And I think that's that's a gross injustice. Impact's doing a wonderful job. Great presentation. They're not going to be what they were. You got to remember, all those guys that made Impact Wrestling the unbelievable alternative WWE that it was are now with WWE or AEW. So you have to just kind of go in there with an open mind and a fresh perspective when it comes to Impact. I can't encourage that enough. Watch them tomorrow night on Access TV, and then if you're inclined to order the pay-per-view on Saturday, it's going to be a good pay-per-view this coming Saturday. Hard to Kill, going to be good. Noah Foster, by the way, has a preview of that on his channel here, coming up on Thursday. So check that out. Anyway, Genesis, it was the Super X Cup for most of the show. Ace Austin defeated Suicide. I'm pretty sure he's called Manic now, but I could be wrong. Oh wait, no, that wasn't. Anyway, Blake Christian defeated Casey Navarro. Cousin Jake defeated Navari, and Crazy Steve defeated Trey Lamar. That was the first round, and then Ace Austin defeated Cousin Jake, and Blake Christian defeated Crazy Steve, and then in the finals, Ace Austin defeated Blake Christian. He is your Super X Cup champion for 2021. Jordan Grace defeated Jazz in what could very well be Jazz's last mainstream match. We'll see how that plays out. And Willie Mack technically defeated Moose in an I Quit match, but Moose was beating Willie's ass so bad that Rich Swann came out to defend his friend and basically said, you get your title shot, Moose. Just please let him go. So Moose quit beating on Willie's ass pretty much and walked away from beating Willie down. And now we will have Rich Swann defending the true Impact Wrestling World Championship against the man who has held the unrecognized TNA World Heavyweight Championship title belts for many, many months now, Big Moose. So that'll be coming up, I think, at Hard to Kill, if I remember right. Let me just double check on that before I, because again, I kind of, remember Saturday was crazy too, because sorry, hang on. There it is. Yeah. Okay, it's not listed on the match lineup, so I'm wondering if that's going to happen this weekend or not. But again, that'll be more of Noah's department on Thursday. I'll leave him to the preview for that. All right. So I did touch on what I wanted to touch on as far as the DC stuff. I did go over the news really quick. Let me just check the proverbial news wire one more time before I move on to that part of the show. I did mention Drew earlier. Testing that was my lead story, and I did talk about Triple H stepping into what do you call it? To show up on Raw tonight, and the rumor is he will wrestle. So we'll see how that plays out. Also, I didn't mention this on earlier, but I did talk about it on social media. Nick Jackson announced that he had COVID during the course of November, which I had pointed out that that was at least half a dozen people that either I knew in my personal life as a friend or I had been acquainted with through work. It just and people, oh, you only have six? It's like I shouldn't have any. That's the thing, y'all. Like this whole thing is preventable and able to be contained if we all just get our heads out of our asses. So there's that. And I will say this: we're gonna talk about more about this tomorrow on Stat Boy Sports Bar, exclusively on the Jeff Meacham Network and on Mikey's Facebook fan page and his Twitter. But I am looking forward to seeing what they do with Adam Pearce. I've not been quiet about how much I appreciate Adam Pearce and how high in regard I hold him as a former NWA World Champion. So I don't foresee an actually competitive match. I really think he's just going to exercise his authority as the official and put Owens in there or somebody else. But if he does, that'd be really cool to see Adam have one more match on the main stage of that. That'd be really cool. I would enjoy that really, really well. It'd be awesome to see that. To see Adam Pearce get one more reign. I will also say this because people have been asking me about this guy for a while because I've been very outspoken against him in recent years, and we even made a shirt up making fun of him and his stupidity or his lack of basic sanity. But Ryback needs to stop. To stay out. Just stop. He thinks that the wrestling fandom actually genuinely cares about his opinions. We don't. No. So stop, Ryan. Please. Okay. That's it for the news. All right. So if you would like to ask me a question that I have not addressed yet, let me see. I can go up here and go through my comments here. Again, Brendan, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Hello to Ricky, to Marshall, to Michael Gonzalez, to Chris Yuck, to Elijah, to the Cleaver, Colin Andrew. Hello, Cleaver. To Mohammed, to Kobe, to Todd, to Bada Thoughts, to Naeem Nader, to Mean Boys 96 for Life, to Todd. I guess that's already. And to Psychojet Black again, who's watching. JB3 is watching. Hello, sir. Mikey's in the chat room. Thank you, Mikey, for being here with me. Kevin Smith. I don't think it's that Kevin Smith. The picture is different. And Kyle Cabral. I think I said your name, Kyle. If I did, the Rhino talking about Ohio. Very cool. Elon's here. Kevin Gerhardt's here. And David Hunter's here. All right. John Colombo's also. Everybody's here. All right. So now that I went over everybody, again, if you are watching on my channel or Aaron's channel, and I appreciate that, Brendan threw in a super chat for $2.99, and just to say thank you. So, I will go ahead and talk about just kind of go through here. As far as Drew being the first honestly active competitor they've talked about contracting the virus in WWE, it's very unfortunate. I mean, Drew, for all intents and purposes, Drew McIntyre has been the anchor of the Raw side of things. He's been the constant all through this pandemic, all through this craziness. He won the Royal Rumble last year, and he basically strapped Raw to his ass, to his back, and ran down to the end zone all the way through the end of the year. And it's very unfortunate that if he does have to forfeit the championship because of this, that it will end like this. However, let me just be a dick for a moment. If him contracting the virus and having to forfeit the championship means that Goldberg won't get it, And that's the one positive side effect of that whole thing. Really bad dry mouth thing all day. I was not very pleased with the end of last week's Raw, with Goldberg coming out and staking his claim on the number one contender spot, or saying his whole basis for being that way was saying that Drew doesn't show respect to the legends. Has he not watched the freaking show? Like, seriously. Drew's shown nothing but respect to the legends as the WWE champion. He fought Randy Orton over Randy attacking the legends when Drew was WWE champion. Like, dude, first of all, if you're going to bring this asshole back, bring up to speed in the storylines, McMahon. Like, seriously. If you don't know, at this point of the game, that Drew McIntyre's reign as the WWE Heavyweight Champion has been based primarily on his affinity, his respect, his admiration for everybody that's come before him in that lineage. And you don't know that coming in to challenge him and be all, oh, you don't respect me. Screw you, Goldberg. And screw Vince McMahon, let me say that, for not having a better story to do than to bring in Goldberg. And with all due respect to my longtime friend, having Adam Pearce be the challenger for Roman Reigns. This is the inherent problem with the company. They have not built anybody up on either of the two major brands to be a challenger for the championship. And, you know, I did hear the rumors, not just from the Psycho J Black, but I did hear the rumors that it was originally supposed to be Goldberg challenging Orton's respect for the Legends. It was going to be Orton versus Goldberg, which I wouldn't mind that either. I wouldn't mind Randy Orton RKOing him friggin' head off. But again, I don't honestly see the need to bring Goldberg back in an active, competitive role. Let's just have his ass walk out there with Hulk and Nate and everybody else that was out there on that stage Monday night last week and be a legend and just be there. All right. And if he can't be involved without being active, then don't bring him back. It's really that simple. It really is that simple. So, one second, guys. Anyway, and I get maybe they're trying to counter program with Sting being on the other side, but Sting's not wrestling, and he shouldn't wrestle if they are going to have him do that. Bad idea on all fronts. And again, I have a huge problem with Goldberg anyway. I don't like him. He's got a bad attitude, and I just don't think he belongs there. So, excuse me one second. Sorry about that. A little bit of a move there. All right, so I'm gonna leave that there. I am gonna put that up just because I agree with it. Anyway, bring the mail in though, please. And yes, thank you, Michael, for reminding me. I am now a devout follower of viewer, I should say, of Talking Smack again. I wasn't going to when Renee left because that was Renee Young's show, right? Paul Heyman makes my Saturdays every weekend. His stuff on Saturday with Kayla and talking to Sonya Deville and the new tag team champions and to Apollo. His stuff with Apollo was just golden. Oh my goodness, was that good. He is awesome. Can't wait to see where they go with Paul more. It's going to be tremendous. It's going to be awesome. So it's junk mail. But thank you. Paul's promo, not really promo, but his advice to Apollo Crews was just tremendous, and I praise that on Twitter, and I stand by it. See, that's the difference with. I know Paul's not an athlete. Let me just. I realize the distinction, right? Paul Heyman has been around for the better part of 40 years. I mean, he started in the early 80s, I believe, maybe mid 80s. Either way, for most of the last four, 80s, 90s, 0s, and 10s, for most of the last 4 decades, he has been a huge uh, presence in the wrestling world, one way or the other. Yes, Ricky, I did see it. That's why I called Ryan out earlier for his bullshit. Because there is no better talker in a mouthpiece exclusively role, in my opinion, in my lifetime than Paul Heyman / Paulie Dangerously. Just crazy. Paul just and he gets better. Like he was so good as the crazy psycho yuppie manager at ringside with the Dangerous Alliance. He was so good as the mouthpiece, the head of ECW. He was an amazing announcer when he was in 2001 with JR doing the Alliance thing. He was a really he's done great things with Brock Lesnar. I'm not gonna take that away from him. I can't stand Brock. Paul's been a tremendous mouthpiece for Brock, and Brock's never been great on the promos. So, he does that for Brock, and it's great. He's doing great things with Roman now. He's done great things with CM Punk. Even though Punk definitely does not need a mouthpiece, never did. Punk's been a tremendous promo his whole career. But Paul consistently has just been the greatest mouthpiece, advocate, counsel, manager, whatever you want to call it, in my lifetime. And that's, for me to say that over Bobby Heenan, I feel is interesting for me because I would never have said that even 10 years ago. I don't think I would have said it. Paul is the best. And he definitely is going to be a Hall of Fame inductee before it's all said and done in WWE. And I do wonder on the SmackDown side of things if this whole thing with Pierce is nothing more than a way to reintroduce or bring back Brock Lesnar. Not that I would like it, but where does Paul stand there? Does he turn on Roman? Where does Roman go from there? Does he turn back? There's so many things that can happen here with Paul Heyman involved, and that's the thing. Paul is the straw that stirs the drink, and he has been his entire career. And I think he's grossly underrated in terms of overall presentation. People give him credit for his promos. People give him credit for his creativity in ECW, but he is, in this host's humble opinion, the best overall mouthpiece manager, whatever you want to call it, and creative mind of the last 40 years. Said it, and I mean it. Dwayne Atkinson with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate that. he did ask this question earlier, so I will go ahead and read the whole thing I wanted to have him say. Should WWE drop the women's tag team titles and bring in a secondary women's title like the women's IC? No. And that's not saying that I don't think the women deserve to have more things to compete for. That's me saying that there aren't enough women on the roster to have a quote-unquote world title division, a mid-card division, and a tag team division. And I think you and I can both agree, Dwayne, that Vince doesn't have enough faith in his women, to push for them, to have that happen. Right or wrong, I don't think he does. Should. He doesn't. But yeah, like I said, if you guys haven't been watching, sorry about that. Bullshit. If you guys haven't been able to watch Talking Smack since it was brought back to the network and Paul Heyman's become the co-host, get on it. It is a great watch. I like it better than I like Raw Talk, and I love Truth and Charlie, but man, just great, just great. So okay. Since he can't super chat because he doesn't have the money and he's down the hall, I'll go ahead and throw it up there. Dylan says, who do I think should be who in the UFC would be a good fit in WWE? Couldn't be in the WWE already. All right, Bubba, you forget. I don't watch UFC very often, and I only know what I saw when you were creating my fighter for me the other night. So I don't even know who's in UFC right now. I don't know where they stand as far as their personas or their aura, their charisma, any of that. So I don't know is the answer. And unfortunately, the answer I can give. Because I don't have enough knowledge about the current landscape of UFC to give a credible answer. So, sorry, kid. I mean, the obvious answer, I guess, would be Connor. But I don't like Connor. He talked down to the business and to the fans of professional wrestling. So I don't want Connor around. The only time I want to see Connor again is to watch Floyd Mayweather, knock him silly. So, and I do know that people have talked about bringing in Chris Cyborg when Ronda was still around. The problem with Chris Cyborg is she couldn't stay clean for a good chunk of her career while Ronda was still the champion and Chris was still chirping at her. So, do you trust somebody that can't keep their shit together as far as being on the PEDs? So, it's, again, very, very scary stuff. So, I don't know. But, I mean, I'm sure there's a few people that have a great, like I said, a great aura of charisma, a great presence in the octagon, but I don't know, who to say. Dylan seems to think Colby Covington would be good because he's got some good promos in the UFC. Okay, well, there you go. Possibly. Psycho Jet Black with the $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Better wrestler, Mike Awesome or Chris Candido? Oh man, people tend to shit on Mike because of what he did to the ECW championship and ECW in general. He was always a really solid wrestler, but I don't think I ever saw a better technical wrestler that never really got over that hump of being in the main event spotlight more than Chris Candido. Chris could wrestle anybody. I mean anybody. And make both of them look good in the process. Chris was an amazing wrestler and an amazingly nice guy. And he put up with a lot of shit in his career. Lord knows we all know that. Great wrestler. So I will say Chris was the better of the two. All right, Dwayne. Let's see. You did super chat me earlier, so I'll go ahead and open this one up here. Best rivalry: Brett versus Shawn, Rick versus Dusty, Austin versus Triple H, and promos count. Okay, well, promo-wise, you got to go with Nate and the Dream, right? Those two guys are the best promos of their time. Brett and Shawn was more personal than it was on camera. They did have great stuff with each other, but it was more organic and not intended to be as intense as it was, if that makes any sense. And Hunter and Austin, I mean, golly, these guys just I remember this feud very, very well. How bad and how intense it got. If you figure you started in 1999 with Austin as the champion and Hunter being the number one contender, having the whole ordeal with SummerSlam and Jesse and everybody involved and everything that happened in that feud. So for me, as a fan who has been a fan since 1990, of those three, I will say the best was Austin and Triple H. But if you throw in the promos, because you have to throw in the promos with these, I still maintain that Rick and Dusty was one of the greatest season. So those three, I will say Rick and Dusty, but Austin Triple H is my favorite of the three. Thank you for stopping by. No, I appreciate it, buddy. Who's the creepier mascot, Burger King or Ronald McDonald, the Burger King? Dude, I put it this way, Psycho Jet Black. I had you guys all know I'm a Kings fan. We had a jersey in 1995-96 season, I believe it was, that featured a king, the head and the crown of a king here that looks so much like the Burger King guy now that we called it the Burger King jersey. And I refuse. That's the only King's jersey that I will ever flat out refuse to buy myself or my son ever. It's creepy because he's creepy. Never been a fan of the Burger King mascot guy at all. Ronald McDonald, I know people don't like clowns, and that's totally justified. I'm not a big clown guy either for the most part, but I've actually encountered the Ronald McDonald character out at events and whatnot, and I've always found him to be great with the kids and great with everybody. He's a great there's a great presence with Ronald McDonald, and I like him way more than I do the Burger King. All right. Dwayne says, just an opinion. Was Jesse arm wrestling challenge for real? I don't even know. I haven't gone back that far and watched that stuff, so I don't know. I would guess it was a work considering it was in the WWF, but I don't know. Yes, yeah, Brandon. Yeah, Paul Heyman's pre-barely legal pep talk. Paul's a master motivator. He always has been, and he can even motivate a crowd to, do what they do every single time. So, there you go. All right, guys. Well, I'm down to the last 15 of the hour, and there you go. Kevin works back with the Back to the Future style uniforms. There you go. Oh, that's. I need to get out there and do that tour with Adam. Anyway, all right. So let me go ahead and do the plugs real quick here while we wait for any more super chats come in, a la Aaron, because they always seem to come in when Aaron's doing the plugs on his show. So we'll see how things play out. Dylan, very simple, Bubba, and it's one I showed you. Sid Vicious at Sin. Just, oof. That was the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I mean, I showed you, kid. His leg was like, oh, God. Yeah, when Dak Prescott got injured earlier this season in football, I showed Dylan, no, this is bad, and he can't. We both cringed. It was ugly. All right. Of course, it's Monday night. You know what that means. It's time for Monday Night Raw, which means after Monday Night Raw, we will have exclusive recap and review with the boss himself, Aaron Rift, over at youtube.com/Aaron Rift No DQ. That's coming up later tonight, of course, at around 11 o'clock Eastern, give or take. My best friend in the world, Bailey, she's again on social media on Instagram at Miss_Vixen420. You will thank me later, I promise. Check her out over on Instagram. So there's that. So let's see here. My buddy Laura over at onlyfans.com/LauraSensFan. She's a hockey fan too. We're both excited about hockey starting on Wednesday. We're very, very happy that's happening. Of course, our buddy Lisa up in the Great White North. She's a Vancouver Canucks fan. So she actually, where is that thing? She actually bought me this when the Canucks were facing the Kings in the 2012 first round. Kind of a side bet thing, but anyway, check her out on Twitter at AngelLisaMarie2. My boy Colin, who actually left a comment, so I'll go ahead and see what he said here. My super chat isn't working on either channel. Have plenty of money, so all right. Well, it is what it is, brother. It's all good. But I'll say it like Browns. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Definitely. It was it wasn't pretty. Just unfortunate that the Penguins fell apart and kept falling. Penguins. Wow, I am in hockey mode. The Steelers skidded more and more, kept falling apart. Just not good. Dwayne says I like the way Bailey spells her name. Well, thank you, Dwayne. We appreciate that. All right. Mohammed, I did catch your question, but I didn't see a super chat with it, so that's why I didn't pop it up. No DQ Big Baller G _Baller G. He's going to have a show coming up tomorrow, so don't forget that. He's, I believe, at 4 o'clock Eastern is when his show is going to be up. That's already been done, so we can get rid of that. Thursday, of course, the dads and Always on Wrestling will be up with our 10th anniversary. That's coming up Thursday. Immediately following this show on the JEFF MEACHAM Network will be a replay of Splash, which is the Renegades reviews of the movie. So I will make sure that's in place. And if not, I'll have JJ do it because so that'll be coming up later on here in just a few minutes. Let's see here. Yeah. Exactly, Michael. Exactly. This isn't her current thing. I don't have the current promo for some reason, but patreon.com/Alexander the Red. You can check her out over on Patreon. She's got a great new setup. It's cute as hell. It's Batman 60s theme with the pals and the zaps, and I'll leave it at that. JJ, since you're watching, I don't know. Was I supposed to upload Splash to the channel myself? Because I did not. And if I didn't, let me know, and I'll go ahead and take care of it real quick here before it gets too late in the day. And yes, Gray Tom Hanks will be coming up. It's actually airing. It actually aired over on his channel at 6 o'clock Eastern. Co with me. Okay, okay, I will do that, Jerry. I'm sorry. Anyway, so that's coming up immediately after. Not immediately after. It'll be right around somewhere between 4:15 and 4:30, or 7:30, if you will. That'll be here again. That'll be the replay of his Splash review coming up later, and it's around 30 minutes or so. So you can watch that and still watch Raw. Don't worry, or the football game. I know everybody wants to watch the football game, and I'm probably going to be watching the football game myself. So don't worry about that. It's all good. I know. Dude, like I said, whatever. Anyway, so all right, Dwayne, one more. My thoughts on Michael Keaton reprising Batman. I don't mind Michael Keaton reprising Batman. I don't know if I want him to be the main DCU Batman. That kind of worries me, but anyway. So there's that. So all right, guys. I thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated that you stopped by today. Thank you all for the super chats. If you super chatted my channel, I really appreciate it. If you super chatted Aaron's channel, I know he appreciates it too, but try to super chat my own channel. I need the money. I broke. Anyway, thank you. I realize this. Dude, you know better than anybody where my headspace has been all year. So I saw it. I saw it. I will take care of it right now. So anyway, all right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it very much. See you here in a few minutes for JJ's replay of the Renegades reviews of Splash. And later on tonight, of course, for Aaron's review of Monday Night Raw on the Nerd channel. Good night.